Alrighty, hello you lovely people, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going through how to hit in the Sport of Roundnet. Previously on this channel we've discussed the 4 principles to make our life as a hitter much easier. We've also discussed the types of shots we have in Roundnet, and we've also gone through how we can manipulate this no-hit zone if we're playing advanced and above in the Sport of Roundnet. And so now you might be thinking to yourself, this is all cool, Scott, but how can I actually hit this ball on the net? And that is what we're going through in today's video. Now, it's important to note that before we get into the lovely form of how we hit in Roundnet, the form is the exact same whether it's inside the no-hit zone or outside the no-hit zone. The no-hit zone just adds a little bit of footwork, but the form is the exact same. So if we're trying to learn a new type of shots or a new technique, or we're trying to make improvements to our technique and our form, then hey, suck up that ego just a little bit, move inside the no-hit zone, make those corrections to your form, and then just add that little bit of footwork back. With all that said, let's get to the good stuff and let's get to the form when hitting in Roundnet. So, I am here, I am at the net. I am feet shoulder width apart, whether it be inside or outside the no-hit zone. And right now, feet are shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent, bum is engaged, back is straight. This is our athletic stance. We're in this for so many reasons and for so many positions in Roundnet, in serve, receive, in defense, in setting, because this gives us a great platform and a great base in sports. And now, once we're in this base, our arm now comes down to the net, and we're doing this to now measure how close we can be to the net to hit this ball low. Because if we don't bring it all the way down, then we're going to have to now hit the ball diagonally in, and now we're not going to be able to keep it low. And if we go too far down, we're obviously going to hit the net, and that's a foul. So we want to measure just where we know we want our hand to be. We bring now our arm up, so our elbow and arm is at 90 degrees. And now the trigger is, as our elbow lowers vertically, as soon as it cannot lower any more vertically without this shoulder dropping, that's when our forearm comes across. And it is this forearm, this elbow, and our athletic stance that generates the power on the hit. And as you see when I hit there, just because I hit, I'm not opening up and looking and admiring my lovely hit. I am holding my follow through. Because if you open up, then you've got a very high chance of now not making great contact with your hand, not being repeatable, and that's when you see pockets, lip ups, or even bad contact on the hand occur. Alrighty, now let's discuss the spin and the hand contact needed when performing a hit in Roundnet. Because what we need to understand when we are contacting the ball, it is not one singular contact. It is a slight carry motion. And this carry motion consists of us now performing our initial contact point at the bottom, at the base of the fingers, and then letting it roll up our fingers to contact it low and also generate spin on the ball. Because if we are here and we perform our hits, and we get spin and rotation on the ball, not only does it help keep it low because we're getting those top spin rotations, but it's also increasing power to the ball without us having to swing really hard or even sometimes break form to try and generate extra power from somewhere. So it's really important to understand when we are performing a hit in Roundnet, it is not a singular contact, but a carry. And this carry helps us create rotations, and those rotations increase the power and helps us keep it low when we're performing a hit in Roundnet. And even if we're now performing a hit that is now off net, a lot of the time if the ball is set here, we are now carrying the ball towards the net to sometimes even give us more angles than we originally got. Because if a ball is incoming and it's landing here, if I'm able to carry it and while it's on my hand move it towards another area on the net, I can now get potentially range and options that I didn't get before. Now, the huge benefit to learning this form is that when we're set now over the net, we don't need to always contact this ball low. If for some reason we don't want to use the range, but we want to use the projection, Well, now we can just choose to make contact that little bit higher, whether that be here, here, or here. And now we, instead of using that range, maybe getting that push in this direction here, we can use that projection. And this is the same when it comes to an off-net hit. Our form is the exact same, but we now may need to shuffle step, perform that hit, and now contact that ball that little bit higher. Because if the range is fixed and we don't get any more range by letting the ball drop, then let's contact that ball higher to ensure that we can now contact the net and use that projection instead of the range. So whether we're using this form to now hit laterally and low and hard, or we're using it now to hit diagonally, or we're using it for off-net hitting, the form stays the same. We're just making a few minor tweaks to it to now adjust to the set. But it all stems from understanding the correct form, and then in some situations, adding that little bit of footwork, or contacting it higher and now using that projection instead of the range. Now, the last little goodie I will give is that for me, it really helps when I think of the ball like a face. And if I'm now going for different types of shots in round net, well, if I want to hit an open, I'm going to aim for the ear here, the ear of the head. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to hit that ear. And if I'm aiming for a push shot, when I'm coming here, my elbow's coming back to open up this hip and open up this area for me. And now I'm hitting the mouth. And if for some reason I now want to perform a pull shot, again, athletic base form is the exact same, elbows up. But now I'm going to reach and I'm going to try and now make contact with the back of the head. Because now it's going to be easier for me to make contact and hit that pull shot if I'm aiming to reach around that ball. So if you're really trying to focus on these different types of hits in round net and going out and practicing, well, for me, it helps think of the ball like a head. You're either hitting the ear, the mouth, or the head. And that depends if you're hitting the open, push, or pull shot. Alrighty, that is all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment or a question. I love questions. I think it builds to innovation and thoughtfulness within the sport of round net. And gosh, we need more of that in a new sport. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.